The pitch. Swing and a long drive. Deep to right. Going. Goodbye. He has done it.
How many times do I have to tell you I don't want crust on my sandwiches? Hold on. I just got a notification from John. Hey, man. Oh my gosh. Bryce Harper to the Phillies? Looks like I won't need this case anymore. Guys, it happened. It finally happened. I am so ready for baseball now. Manny Machado signed with the Padres for 10-year, $300 million. Everyone and their mother was thinking, how much is Bryce Harper going to get now that $300 million is the limit? So he just got a 10-year, $330 million contract from the Philadelphia Phillies. This entire week, everyone has been saying that Bryce Harper might be going to the San Diego Padres. It's been said that he is going to go to the San Francisco Giants. No, there's not going to be any Bryce Harper and Chris Bryant duo in Chicago. There's not going to be any of those things happening. Hold on, guys. I need to drink some water because I was not expecting this. Hold on. Okay, I think we're officially ready to break this video down. This news is so massive and I am so passionate about baseball and bringing you guys the news first that I'm actually putting off a date right now. So if you guys wouldn't mind, slap a like on this video and subscribe because I'm probably not doing myself a favor right now by putting off a date to make this video. But you know what? Bryce Harper to the Phillies has got to come first. So the way that this video is going to work is we're going to break down every single aspect of what this signing could mean. Is it going to do anything for Mike Trout and the fact that he might be the first person, the first human to get $45 to $50 million because there's Manny Machado, there's Bryce Harper kind of on the same level, and then there's Mike Trout. And he's due for a contract within the next year and a half. So how much is he going to get? But for right now, let's stay in the current frame of mind. We're going to talk about Bryce Harper to the Phillies. We're going to talk about the Phillies roster and what their lineup could look like because for right now on paper, the Phillies are now your favorite. I mean, that division is going to be insane, but the Phillies are now your favorite to win their division. But if you talk to any Philadelphia Philly fan, they were pretty much saying that if they did not get Bryce Harper, the season would be a bust. So we're going to talk about everything right now. So buckle in your seatbelts and let's start talking about Bryce Harper to the Phillies. When we spoke about Manny Machado going to the Padres, I asked you guys to do me a favor because a lot of you don't like Manny Machado, whether you think that he was a dirty player or just not worth $30 million a year. I'm going to ask you to do the same thing for Bryce Harper in this video. Take off the blindfolds that you have. I want you guys to look at the stats. I want you guys to look at Bryce Harper's resume as a whole because Bryce Harper, he's more than just a baseball player. He's also going to put fans in the stadium as well. So he's probably going to be worth more than your average player. Even though he doesn't have the best stats in the world, he's still amazing. Last year in 2018, Bryce Harper did not have his best season, although he did have one of his best home run totals and RBI totals. In fact, it was the first year in his entire 7-year career that he was able to eclipse 100 RBIs. So that's something worth noting, even though he didn't have the best year in terms of just getting on base and getting base hits and stuff like that, as evident by his .249 batting average. And also, I think before the All-Star break last year in 2018, he was hitting .214. He was really bad in the first half, yet he still made the All-Star team. The reason why is because like I was saying, Bryce Harper is more than just a player in your lineup. He is going to get all-star votes even if he is not the best. He is going to put fans in your stadium and you are going to recoup a ton of money because he is that good. He has that much of a star appeal. Bryce Harper is the full package. We're going to continue to recap 2018 because again, it was a good year for Bryce Harper, but at the same time, it was not Bryce Harper standards because he did have that .249 batting average. He had 137 base hits, 34 home runs, 103 runs, 100 RBIs, and 13 stolen bases to go along with an 889 OPS. So for anyone else in the league, that is pretty solid production. Again, Bryce Harper, he is a former MVP. He won the 2015 National League MVP at 22 years old when he played in 153 games. He led the entire league in runs with 118. He had 172 base hits, 38 doubles, 42 home runs, 99 RBIs, 124 walks to 131 strikeouts, and he also led the league in on-base percentage, slugging percentage, and OPS. And if you guys have not heard his OPS from his age 22-year-old season, he had a 1.109 OPS, which is better than any season Mike Trout has ever had. So in 2015, Mike Trout and Bryce Harper were pretty much on the same level. That's how good Bryce Harper can be when he's healthy and on top of his game. So we've talked about 2018, which was a kind of good year for Bryce Harper, but not the best. We've talked about his greatest year back in 2015 when he won the MVP. But what about all the other years in between? So these few years are the reason why people were saying Bryce Harper's overrated. Bryce Harper should not get more than $25 to $30 million, and he should not get more than Manny Machado. The reason why this argument is valid in my opinion is because if you look at a year like 2016 when he was 23, the year after he won MVP, in 147 games, Bryce Harper had a .243 batting average to go along with 24 home runs, 86 RBIs, and 21 stolen bases. So again, He's productive. He gets you counting stats, but that's not, I don't think a 249 batting average with 24 home runs is worth $33 million a year. And I think a lot of people would say, why would you want to pay Bryce Harper $33 million for 34 home runs, 100 RBIs, and a 249 batting average when you can get Chris Davis for the same thing, but half the cost? And when I say Chris Davis, I don't mean Chris Davis of the Baltimore Orioles. I mean Chris Davis from the Oakland A's, who has hit 247 for like 4 years in a row and was an MVP candidate last year. That Chris Davis. So at this point, I'm going to turn it back to you guys, okay? So pretend that you are the general manager for the Phillies or any other organization in Major League Baseball. So with all the stats that I threw out you, we have the MVP year back in 2015, where he had 42 bombs, he almost had 100 RBIs. He was also able to hit 330 with the 1.09 OPS. So that is godly numbers. Those are video game numbers that don't come around too often. So we know that Bryce Harper has it in him to be one of the best hitters that this game has ever seen. But also, if he gets injured or if it's just there's something in his swing that he can't figure out mechanic-wise, we can see that he hits in the 250s. I mean, he still is productive to a certain extent. What would you guys make of this? If you were the Phillies GM, would you give Bryce Harper this deal considering all the deals that you've already made? So that's the segue that we're going to go into right now. We're going to talk about all the moves the Phillies have made to kind of sum up an amazing offseason in 2018 and going forward in 2019. Before the offseason even started, I thought the Phillies had a pretty decent roster in place. By no means I thought that they were going to be a World Series favorite in the next 5 years, but then slowly but surely they started to make trades and they started to sign guys, and I'm starting to think, yo, even if the Phillies don't get Bryce Harper, they can wait to get Mike Trout, but they decided to pull the trigger. They have Harper on their squad now. They have Gene Segura. They traded for a bullpen pitcher named James Pezos, who is actually really good. They signed Andrew McCutchen. They already had Rhys Hoskins. They've made so many moves, probably so many that I can't even think of because I'm just going on the top of my head right now because I'm reacting to it in real time. John Heyman tweeted this out literally 5 minutes ago, and I thought I have to get this out for you guys as fast as possible. So I'll put everything up on the screen as I keep talking about it. But the Phillies lineup, if we take a look at it right now, it is going to be filthy. Another huge trade that went down for the Phillies was the fact that they traded one of their top prospects, Sixto, something like that. I can't remember his name. I butcher his name every single time I say it, but they traded Sixto and Jorge Alfaro, one of their better catchers, in exchange for the top catcher in baseball, JT Realmuto. So that is going to be a huge thing to look at as well. So when you have Rhys Hoskins, when you have Odubel Herrera, Bryce Harper, you have JT Realmuto all in the same lineup, and then you factor in Andrew McCutchen, maybe Nick Williams here and there. The Phillies are going to be lethal in 2019, and all of you Nationals fans, all of you guys in the same division in the National League, you guys better watch out. Braves fans, yo, the Phillies are coming. So in front of you guys right now is the 2019 depth chart for the Phillies. Now this is before Bryce Harper was added because obviously that is breaking news that I'm bringing to you guys right now. But we can take a look at their left field, their Andrew McCutchen, center field, Odubel Herrera, and right field we have Nick Williams. So you guys can kind of interchange that outfield whether you want Bryce Harper in center field, right field, left field, it does not really matter. I will be honest, he was pretty trash in the field last year in 2018. That's why his WAR was only 1.3 in 2018 because his defensive WAR was like negative 1.5 or something crazy like that. At third base, we have Maikel Franco. Shortstop, we have Gene the Hit Machine Segura. Second base is Cesar Hernandez. At first, we have Rhys Hoskins. And then if we look at the rotation, we have Aaron Nola, their ace, followed by Jake Arrieta, Nick Pivetta. We have Zach Eflin. There's so many guys on their rotation that could be hit or miss. I think Aaron Nola is the one guy that you can kind of give him the ball and say, go get me 200 innings, go get me 15 to 20 wins. Jake Arrieta, I'm not really too sure because he did not have the best 2018. It's the same for Nick Pivetta and Eflin. They're not really proven. So their depth in the rotation is something that they should look to improve as the years progress, but they're going to have a lot of money tangled up, and I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do that. The one thing I will say is the Phillies are going to have a pretty good bullpen. They signed David Robertson. A lot of people forgot that they added David Robertson, who is a more than suitable relief pitcher, especially in the National League. They have Sir Anthony Dominguez. Hector Neris had a pretty good second half. They have Pat Neshek. A lot of guys that a lot of people just don't give a lot of credit to. I think that their bullpen is going to be pretty good. I think one more lefty specialist will make the Phillies even that much more formidable, but for right now, me as a baseball fan, I'm not trying to be biased. I do like Bryce Harper. Back in the day, I was a big Phillies fan because I like Cliff Lee. I know Shane Victorino personally. I like Chase Utley, Ryan Howard. So Bryce Harper to the Phillies, it just seems like it's the perfect fit. I think Manny Machado was the first domino to go, obviously, that we can see. It was Manny Machado. Nolan Arenado just got paid, and then finally, the last domino to fall, we have Bryce Harper, which is absolutely insane just for playing the game of baseball. But again, with Bryce Harper, you're getting more than just a ball player. You are making so much money because you guys have to remember, baseball is not just a sport, it's also a business. So if you think about it from like a business perspective, perspective, let's talk about, I don't know, Victoria's Secrets. Megan Fox might not be the most attractive person in the world, but if you put her on the Victoria's Secrets ads, a lot more people are going to watch because Megan Fox is a celebrity. And same with Bryce Harper. They are going to make the team so much more money. And not only are they going to make so much more money in 2019, but they're going to be a lot better on the field as well, because I think Bryce Harper is going to have an MVP caliber season. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. I wanted to try and make this video as quickly as possible while still providing you guys all the stats. So Bryce Harper's had some MVP years, some of the best that we've ever seen in baseball history. He's also had some pretty average years where he's injured and not playing to the best of his ability. The Phillies have a pretty good roster in place with Nola leading off as their ace. We have a couple other decent guys with Rhys Hoskins, Odubel Herrera, Gene Segura, a lot of guys that are very serviceable and they will make a pretty good impact. So what do you guys think? Is this a good signing? Is this a bad signing? Would you rather have Manny Machado over Bryce Harper or vice versa? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Man, this was crazy. Peace out.